So we're just over at Two Tree Island in Essex, and we're shooting some portraits on film with the Mamiya RZ67. If you follow my channel, you know that I've rented it for the week just because I'm testing it out, because I'm thinking about buying it. I'm shooting some Portra 800 and some Tri-X 400 that I'm pushing to 800 just because it's getting a bit darker now. We're shooting with my friend model Maura, and my friend Anna's helping to film. We brought like a backdrop and stuff, like a nice cool green bit of material, and it's going to look really cool, but it was just too windy, it kept falling over. So we're just going to we've got a nice cool chair, and we're just going to get involved with some nature and hopefully take some good pictures. So had a wicked time on that shoot. Maura did really well, thanks to Anna as well for helping video. I think the pictures came out really good. I was super happy with most of them. I've never shot Portra 800 before. That was actually the first time I used that colour negative film, and it's a really nice film. Definitely a contender for me for something that I'm going to use going forwards, especially for portrait shoots. even though it is quite expensive, but I guess the price is justified after seeing those photos. The initial concept for that shoot, actually, we were going to, we wanted to do some kind of studio stuff, but due to COVID going on, most of our local studios were still closed. So I thought, you know what, we'll take the studio outside. And then we were going to kind of try and get involved with nature, and I was going to set up a backdrop like in between some trees and bushes and have it spilling over. And she was going to wear some like contrasting colours, like some bright colours and some earthy tones. I even bought some material for the backdrop from a textile shop near me. It was only like £3 a metre. I got 3 metres of it, and it was a nice greeny colour. But stupidly, I forgot to bring anything to weigh the backdrop stands down with. We got into the middle of the field, we set it up, and it just kept blowing over, blowing backwards, forwards, blowing on top of Paul Maura's head. It was just, it wasn't working. We even tried for a little bit to set the camera on a tripod for filming, and Anna tried to get behind to hold the backdrop stand up. And at the time, I couldn't see her through the backdrop. But after looking at the pictures after I developed them, you can quite clearly see her shadow, and a couple of them actually look a little bit creepy, almost like something out of the movie The Ring or something. So yeah, they weren't to be used, but live and learn. Won't do that next time. But the ones we shot afterwards, obviously, I think they came out really well. And then we shot a roll of Tri-X 400, which I pushed to 800, and they came out really well too, I think. Even had little Mr. Fox show up halfway through that roll of Tri-X. He was pretty cool. But yeah, that was it. So I had a really great time. The Mamiya RZ67 has now gone back to its rightful owner, and I was very sorry to see it go. It's a really, really good camera, and definitely a contender for my next purchase. It's got a lot of pros to it. It's a great build quality. Mamiya glass is like pin sharp. They're so sharp, those lenses, especially the 110 2.8 lens that I had. Obviously it's a modular camera, so you can swap and change bits around. Being able to switch between portrait to landscape orientation just by rotating the back makes life so much easier. It was a novelty at first, but even by the end of the week I was still loving being able to do that. And then obviously bellows focusing, so the whole reason why I got my Mamiya C330 was because I wanted a TLR, and I like to shoot close to my subjects, especially for portraits. So with the Mamiya RZ67, not only are you getting a really nice 6x7 negative, but you can get so close to your subject and get some really nice portraits out of it. Cons, there's not many cons, but obviously I think two of the main ones for me are the weight. So yes, it's heavy, and yes, a lot of medium format cameras are heavy, but this one in particular, after you've been carrying it around for a few hours, you definitely start to notice it. And then the other main one is that the shutter speed only goes to 1/400th of a second. So, you know, if you want to open your lens and take some shallow depth of field portraits on a sunny day, for example, you end up having to hunt for shade, or I know you can get a neutral density filter, an ND filter, and that would help you out, but personally I don't really like using filters. I don't even use UV filters, just because to me I feel like putting another piece of glass between your glass and your subject, it takes away something from the lens, whether that be character or sharpness. I've done tests in the past, and for me I don't like using them, so I try not to use them. So yeah, I'm still going to rent the Pentax 6.7. Maybe not next week, but the week after. I'm going to rent that just because I've heard good things about that, and more specifically the 105mm 2.4 lens. I've heard and I've seen some great examples, and I love the look of that lens and how it renders, so I'm definitely going to get that just to try it out. I'll do a few videos for that too, and then after I've done with that, I'll maybe show you some comparisons between the Mamiya and the Pentax 6.7, and let you know which one I favoured. But that's it for now. Yeah, so next week I'll probably do a video next week on my scanning, just because I've had even more people asking me since the last video what I do. So I'll tell you quickly. Obviously I develop my negatives myself. I camera scan, so I use my Fuji cameras to just take digital photos of the negatives. I've got my light box and stuff, and then I convert with Negative Lab Pro. So I'll do a video, I'll show you exactly my whole setup, how I do it, what settings I use on my camera, and then I'll show you how I convert with Negative Lab Pro and what settings I use with Negative Lab Pro, just for anyone that's interested. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.